Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, where art accelerates business, design drives performance, and we explore the culture of speed with athletes, business leaders, and creatives who define it. Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, episode 115.
There you go.
There you go. We have to quiz each other every single time to guess what number podcast we are on.
People had any idea how much process goes into just trying to remember what number one. The weeks just go by.
And because we pre-record things ahead of time, so then like my brain's counting those, but because
the guest episodes.
Yeah. So because of that, it kind of throws me off because I'm thinking of that one.
Sometimes we pre-record guest episodes. What we've been doing lately, though, is the Dial a Friend. What was the game show?
Oh,
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Phone a Friend.
Phone a Friend, yeah.
That used to be one of our favorite shows that we'd watch as a family.
We mean you and your parents?
Yeah.
And your brother?
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
Wow.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Okay. That's been we've gotten good feedback on that. Just
Phone a Friend?
Yeah, the Phone a Friend.
Yeah.
Strategy.
Well, I think it's good because sometimes like we've had feedback that people only like the one-on-ones, and then we have feedback. We've actually never had feedback that people only like the guests, but people do like the guests, and it brings new audiences. So I think the kind of mini Phone a Friend clip is a happy medium.
I will say I've gotten to the point with How Long Gone that I will listen to the introduction. If they have a guest, I just don't even listen anymore.
Really?
Yeah. And unless the guest is someone who I know.
Yeah.
Then, but otherwise I'm like, I'm done.
I know that's the hard thing about podcasts is like, you want to listen to new people, but it really is hard. Like if you don't know them already, you just kind of look at it as like, oh, this could be a huge waste of my time.
Right.
But
you can't be turned on to new things.
But exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult thing to decide.
When you listen to, wow, this is a tangent we're going on. When you listen to Diary of a CEO, when you're like, hey, listen to this 4-hour interview with this CEO, do you know who they are beforehand, or are you trying them out randomly?
Usually not. I definitely listen to people if I know who they are and I like them. But I'll usually read the description and then kind of try and like go on their Instagram and maybe see if it's something that I want to listen to.
Oh, okay.
So I do a little bit of research before investing the time.
Pre-read. Huh.
Yeah.
So yeah, big week, big day today. Made some big announcements and some things been in the works for a while. It's recovering from a very long, successful weekend in the mountains. My social batteries were drained all the way down to the bottom. Yeah,
we had our team camp, so our annual SpeedStudio team camp for our members in just outside of Clayton. I guess technically it is Clayton, Georgia, but we were on Lake Burton. And so we rented a big house on Lake Burton, and it was awesome. Like, You never know when you rent these houses, if you've never stayed there before, like how, packing 15 people into one house can always be a little challenging. Because, what if there's
roll of the dice.
Yeah, it's a roll of the dice. Like, what if there's not space? What if there's not enough, common area?
Or your main concern, the bathroom situation.
I'm very OCD about the bathrooms. But anyways, it was such a fun weekend. We rode. It was beautiful. For anyone who hasn't ridden bikes in the North Georgia mountains, it's
number one.
I still think it's number one.
Can't beat it, especially in that area.
It's so beautiful. There's not a lot of cars, especially this time of year. There's not that many
roads,
cars.
Perfect routes.
It's just awesome.
Yeah, no traffic, and I think maybe Mallorca might beat it, but outside of that,
it's different.
I'll put against anything in America, that's for sure. Well, let's get to our news today. Big announcement today, actually just about an hour ago.
Go ahead, tell the people.
We announced that for 2026, Michael's professional racing program will be expanding, and that is due in large part to help from our partners, and primarily in Basso bikes. So next year, we will be the SpeedStudio presented by Basso, and Michael will be, in part of that expansion, Michael will be going international. To do what we're saying is we're going where the attention is, right? Yeah. So we're not going to do the same races he's done the last 2 years, which a lot of those have been kind of the traditional U.S. gravel races, a lot of U.S. criteriums. And what we want to do is for the program to grow and expand, it's got to continue to get attention. and bring maximum value to our partners.
Yeah.
And that's through not only the partnership of sponsoring the program, but also the content, the campaigns, and everything that we help them put on. Because we know as not only small business owners, but also this is what we do for a living, right? Like we see like that's how you really get people's attention through like getting value for their business. And so we're going to go where the races are, and he's going to start in Europe, Santoval and Girona. He's going to be doing Trocca and Girona. We'll be doing some international crits. So Via Crit in London in June, Zurich Crit in Zurich in August, and some other. He'll also be going by Strada Bianchi, not to race the World Tour race, but he'll be going there just to do some content stuff with Cask and Coup. So very excited about that. And so that's one big part of it.
What's the second announcement?
Oh, why don't you tell us?
So the second announcement is that we are bringing on Cole Davis. And so if any of you watched Gravel Nats this year, he got third place.
Correct.
Michael got second place.
Yep.
So they were on the podium together. They used to race for Hagens Berman Action together, which is an under 23. I mean, one of the most famous under 23 teams over in Europe. So they grew up through the sport together. Obviously, both Americans. Cole lives out in California. And I think it's going to be, or I know it's going to be, just an incredible expansion on the program because it gives more people to watch, more people to cheer for. Cole is a different racer than Michael, but I think they complement each other.
Definitely.
And so, where Michael was the under 23 time trial champion, Cole was a junior national road champion.
Yep.
And he's got a kick. He's got a sprint. He showed that when he was on Ribble a couple of years ago. Last year he was on Echelon. And we can see that balancing each other out, they can, I think, deliver a lot of results when they're racing together and then deliver different results when they're racing apart. The cool thing about Cole this year is he is going to try and get a wild card into the Lifetime Grand Prix, which Michael won't be a part of this year. But I think if he can get that, it allows us to broaden the audience and kind of, to your point, go where the attention is, where their strengths are.
Yeah, and don't think they're just going to be doing gravel. So what the thing that's crazy about this is that they're also going to race criteriums. They're going to race road races, time trial nationals, road nationals. They'll be doing all of those. In fact, even like we're trying to think of like how do we create really interesting storylines, and that'll come up pretty early in the spring, where they'll both be at Sea Otter, which is a Lifetime Grand Prix gravel race. That's on a Thursday. They're going to turn around 48 hours later. They're going to do Athens Twilight.
Yeah.
And the goal is to win both. So, I think you and I have been talking about this enough, but why don't we just see if we can get Cole on the line, dial a friend and talk to him about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Chad.
Cole, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Hello. I'm here as well.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's cool to be on here after listening to a few of them.
Oh, nice. We got a listener.
Exactly. So we just made the announcement on the podcast, and then we decided to phone a friend and have you talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, how are you feeling about the big announcement?
It's one of those things where we knew the deal was done, obviously. When you post it and you get to see the reaction, it feels real.
Yeah.
And the excitement comes back. And I've had goosebumps for half of the morning just seeing the reactions and thinking of what we can do.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's like once it gets out there in the world, you're like, wow, it's actually happened. Here it is.
I'm committed.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. And I think, a lot of the reaction we've heard so far is it's just exciting to have a more dynamic team with different personalities and different skill sets. And so I think, obviously we shared it with all of our members on the WhatsApp group, and they're really excited. But I think people throughout the year will come to just really love cheering for the both of you, whether you're at races together or separately.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think about this move, it just makes sense. And everyone that knows Michael and I individually has kind of all said the same thing of like, you guys are both strong. You have similarities, but there are some minor differences in your styles of riding, and personality-wise, you guys are also very different, but you get along so well. Like this opportunity, I think is going to be really cool and definitely stand out in the U.S. scene and hopefully internationally.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that for us, just there's so much alignment because you guys can both race everything. Like we were asked yesterday, like what do you call these guys? Like, are they mixed terrain racers? Are they road racers doing gravel? And I was like, they're just bike racers, and that's what Michael always says too. Is like I just give me a bike and I'll race it. And there's not a lot of guys at this level that can do that, that have the confidence to race a crit and then turn around and race a lifetime Grand Prix mountain bike race. But you both have that, which is, I think, pretty exciting from a storytelling perspective. But yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about how you have developed those skills. How are you able to be, because we know how Michael's done it. How were you able to do it all those years? Because usually you're focused on one type of discipline.
Yeah. Well, I kept being told the quote from, I want to say Greg Henderson of find whatever you're best at and really key into that, because that's how you'll be most successful. So I've spent blocks where I focus on climbing. I try to get ready for a climbing race, or I do a year of racing crits. I get better at field sprints, but you don't magically lose the ability to do the other. Um, and I mean, like for example, 2024 when I was on the crit team, I got better at field sprinting as the year went on, but I was never magically a pure sprinter, 2,000 watt guy. Um, so I learned a lot about craft, but genetically I didn't change that much.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I just enjoy riding different bikes. We have lots of good mountain bike trails out here. So yeah, I've just always had these skills that have always just been in my pocket. So it's not that I'm trying to be versatile, it just happens.
I think of it like, and this is maybe like on a really big scale, but when I think of like Deion Sanders, he played baseball and football.
Yeah.
And there's just some athletes that can do it all. Like there's just some athletes where your athletic ability in cycling is strong enough and stronger. And I know Chad's laughing because I don't actually know.
Well, I'm wondering if Cole knows who Deion Sanders is.
Oh, sorry. So
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Not the football coach, the player though.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think I watched a documentary, saw him in his prime.
Yeah.
Nice. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Coach
Prime time.
And so I think of it like that. Like there's just certain athletes in the world that can do everything. And when you think of like heptathlon, when you think of like there's just, but it takes a special mentality to be able to have the confidence to take the risk to do all those things.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you and Michael are special it is about ability. Like you said, you don't just because you train for one thing, you completely forget how to do another, but it's the strength, the natural ability, but then just the confidence to say, oh, I can just do everything. And I'm going to be really excited about it.
I was going to say, having been teammates with both of the Garrison brothers, I find that they are both very confident as well themselves, and they have no doubts in their own abilities.
That is an understatement.
I think we have to thank Nancy Garrison for that because she somehow instilled a bunch of confidence in both boys. But it's so true.
Did you notice that line that was quoted in Cycling News with the announcement that Michael made at the end? We're gonna blow the doors off the world.
Yeah, that line doesn't surprise me.
One thing you just said that surprised me, like I think of you as definitely a climber and a sprinter though, because beginning of 2024, you were racing Speed Week and you were smoking everyone in the sprint. That was a surprise to you?
I think it was a surprise to a lot of other people. Like I wouldn't say I'm gonna go out to a 200-person sprint and win the field sprint.
Yeah.
That's not typically my style. And I don't think I won a field sprint at Speed Week because we were able to make it so attritional and I'd just be sprinting smaller groups of guys.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I love doing.
Well, the irony is that Michael was making it attritional and you were going along with him and then out sprinting him.
Yeah. I mean, when Michael would single-handedly lap the field and bring a few of us with him, and then, you're in a field sprint, but you're sprinting a few people, it's a little easier for sure. I've already had so many different thoughts and tactical races in my head running through of what next year could look like. And obviously in 2024, Michael and I spent a good amount of time off the front together. And I'm wondering if that happens if, quote unquote, your entire team is up the road, if people will let that happen or not. But I mean, if you're strong enough, you can make whatever happen, I guess.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
if you and Michael go up the road, people are going to be killing themselves to try and bring you all back.
For sure.
What are you
Yeah.
most excited about for next year?
Um, well, there's two parts of that. I think what I'm most excited about off the bike is just hanging out with Michael at these races. I mean, we've put together a couple fun photos and videos on Instagram, and I mean, there's a lot more in my phone that I can't post. Um,
We've seen some of those.
oh, I'm sure you have. Yeah, people love them. I'm just excited for the memory aspect of it. Like that to me is fun. Just whether it's just making breakfast with your friend or if it's going out and celebrating completing a race or winning or going out that night, just making memories, seeing new parts of the country, traveling together. Like it's all the things that you wouldn't expect to be the most memorable that always are.
Yep.
Um, and then when I think about the bike racing side, we're doing a bunch of big events, but I think I'm most excited about attending new events and really hopping on the mountain bike more than I have in the past. My schedule's still kind of up in the air, but I would love to go do the Silver Rush 50 in Leadville because
Hmm.
that's where I started really racing longer mountain bike events when I was 14, I think. So I've got ties to that. And then, yeah, just some of these gravel races that I've heard people talk about, gravel worlds in Nebraska. I feel like I have to just go experience it.
Yep.
Um, because yeah, I've obviously heard a lot of stories there. And yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to switch it up and keep it everything fresh in my head throughout the year.
One of the things that Michael keeps talking about, and we actually just mentioned a few minutes ago, is this opportunity early in the season where you'll have the Sea Otter Lifetime Grand Prix race on gravel, which is a Thursday, and then you're going to turn around and fly to Atlanta and do Athens Twilight on a Saturday. Have you thought about how surreal that's going to be?
Oh, I'm so pumped on it. Um, because the next week is Levi's. So then I believe our plan is for me to fly from Athens or maybe do some of Speed Week and then fly back to do Levi's, which obviously those three events can't be any more different.
Yeah.
Um, and each event is probably the biggest event of its kind. Like Sea Otter Gravel's lifetime, so that's got to be a top five event in the country. Athens Twilight is the biggest, or yeah, definitely top three biggest crits in the country or world, really. And then to come back and do what I'm assuming is the biggest one day road race in America. Yeah, and so you have your flat crit, you have your gravel, you have a mountainous 135-mile race, and I feel like I have just as good a shot in all three races, as well as Michael. Like I don't think Michael's doing Levi's with me, but I would love nothing more than to see Michael win Athens Twilight. Like if we could do that, the season's a success.
Yeah.
There's a few events in the year where you can put that big target on it. And from a training perspective, it's fantastic. I mean, if you hit your peak during that week, during those, I don't know what the span is, 9 days or something,
Yep.
like it could be super rewarding and just a fun week overall, really.
Did you do Levi's last year or this
I,
year? Sorry.
yeah, I mean, I was there. Um,
Looked hard.
yeah, yeah, it was real hard, especially if you're injured and 10 pounds overweight and then accidentally make the breakaway. Um,
Oops.
yeah, so our roster was pretty down at the moment. Lots of injuries, lots of guys coming back from illness. So we all started with our phones in our pockets, and it was going to be a beautiful bike ride. We were going to take photos, enjoy the day. Yeah, and then that turned off pretty fast. Uh, so yeah, that's one that I want to go back to next year while in shape and form because it's a local race for me, being an hour and a half away. A great course, top competition. And obviously the prize money's massive there.
Yeah. Is having your phone in your pocket, that means and just for most people, they don't understand. Like, you don't normally race with your phone. So having your phone in your pocket means I'm just here for fun.
Oh yeah. If you're racing with your phone in your pocket, your plan is to be gruppetto. Much like leg warmers.
Much like leg warmers.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you look around, you're like, okay, that guy's got his phone in his pocket. Just let me get around him because he's never going to try if it goes single file.
I agree with the leg warmers
might
thing.
as well.
I agree.
Maybe I'm just a head case here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few things that if you pick up on them, you'll know if I'm planning on racing that day or not. Yeah, like back in the day, back on Action with Michael, like if the mechanic was asking me for a cassette and I told you to put the 33 on, like I was already checked out. I was just going to survive that day. You never need more than a 28 cassette in the rear, in my opinion, if you're trying and you're racing it. So yeah, there's all those little indicators of if you're going to try or not, for sure.
I wonder if Michael ever thinks about that stuff.
Well, he just never races.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think like he has a little bit of like lizard brain when he goes into every race, which is just like
Exactly.
He's like, no, I'm winning every race, even if he's like his legs falling off. He's
Yeah.
That's like
I think my favorite Michael quote last year came at Gravel Nationals. He's like, "Hey man, did you know there was a 25% grade 1K from the finish line? I had no idea." I was like, You didn't look at the last K of the national championship course, Michael?
That does not surprise me at all.
Well, see, that's where you're going to be able to help right there.
Exactly. But maybe not knowing is a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say not knowing helps you a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe not on that one particular instance, but oftentimes it does.
Walk us through how you're feeling from a mentality standpoint. You've been on basically big road teams all of your life. Other than Ribble, I wouldn't say it was a big road team, but it was a road-focused team, and Joe did a great job organizing that group of you guys traveling around the world to do crits. But how is that transition back now for the first time? You're like, okay, well, I will be alone at a lot of like we're talking about you and Michael being together, but you're not going to be together at most of the races. Like a lot of times you're going to be alone. How are you feeling about that transition? Because it will be different.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a long answer to that. But
yeah.
Being on road teams, I haven't really had to do much outside of pedal my bike, where this year when I started exploring options, I found a new appreciation for these road teams. Like when you reach out to companies and you're asking for just one product, maybe a little bit of cash, it's incredibly difficult to get every sponsor you want to line up.
Yep.
I don't know how these road teams can go out and say, hey, I have 20 guys. We're a continental team. We're not going to race the Tour de France, but you should invest in us anyways. Like, kudos to the guys who make that happen, because up until this year, I had no idea how much work went into that.
Yep.
And now when I think about the logistics of going to races and whatnot, that's going to be new to me as well. And it's exciting and nerve-wracking. I'm pretty confident I will make it to the race, but I'm pretty last second. It'll come together, probably. Yeah, I'm a little overconfident in that regard, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be lucky enough to have my parents at some of the races, because I mean they love that stuff. They love coming out to the races, supporting, being in the feed zones, and doing that. But yeah, I haven't really put together a plan of these events I'm going to alone with no support. I figure I'll just call you guys and ask for your thoughts.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, I mean, to me, it's just part of growing up. You know, it's like this is a great opportunity to actually get ahead of a lot of people your age in the racing scene, because you will learn a lot of new skills, you know, whether it's from, again, like just dealing with your own logistics. Like that's only going to help you in the future, especially at some point, you know, you have to turn into some sort of business person. And even if that's revolving around cycling, I think this just gives you the platform to become a holistic, business-minded cyclist, which I think that is a huge value prop, because if let's say a brand is looking at someone who, you know, let me use Allison Tetrick real quick. So Allie Tetrick, I don't know, I'm sure you've met her because she lives out in California too. She goes to a lot of the same stuff. But she was in the world tour for a long time. Then she's raced domestically. She's the queen of gravel. And she's really made it her mission to become a business-minded cyclist, and it's had a huge payoff for her. I mean, she obviously hosts the podcast with Lance, when they're covering the Tour de France. She does a lot of speaking events. She does a lot of publicity for races, and it's because of her ability to manage her side of the business that's so attractive to these brands, because it's one less thing they have to worry about. So I think it's going to be an incredible experience for you and Michael to just continue to kind of sharpen those business skills.
There was a time, I mean, Cole told me he was already starting to think about that.
Yeah.
Before you got that result at Gravel Nationals, you were kind of wondering, is it time for real business Cole to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a job application process for a tech sales company, and there was actually a lot of carryover from the lessons I learned there to trying to pitch myself and present myself to other companies.
Exactly. What's the riding like out like where you live? Like, what's your average kind of training look like week to week?
It's fantastic here. I think Northern California is very slept on because you have LA there and it's called the glamour, but out here we have all kinds of terrain. I would say it's actually fairly similar to Girona. It reminds me a lot of that. Lots of 5 to 10 minute climbs, never really a flat stretch of road, just constant rollers. We just don't have the 30-minute mountains. And for those of you that have been to Girona, the weather's pretty similar. Our winters are maybe 10 degrees Fahrenheit colder. Summers are 10 degrees warmer. But yeah, I think it's a great place to ride. The community's good. We have lots of group rides throughout the summer. We've got River Ride World Championships coming up where we have a flat crosswind kind of race ride out here that always brings, I don't know, between 100, 150 people out.
Huh.
So yeah, it's a really good cycling community that people aren't talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that big there. And you're basically just right outside Sacramento. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm currently in Roseville, which is like 20 minutes in the car from Sacramento.
Okay.
And then I'm within an hour of Tahoe. So I'm kind of in the middle of the mountains to the ocean. In the middle, you'll find Roseville.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, looking at the location.
Yeah, I don't think we've
And
ever really been
you could
that
drive
area.
over and go to the wineries easily. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's for after Levi's this year. That's where you'll find me.
Exactly.
Well, cool. Well, I know you haven't gotten your bikes yet, but I think you've probably checked some of them out. You've got, and I don't know if I even told you this, you have an SV, so a Basso SV on the way. You also will get a Diamante. So they're sending you a Diamante as your climbing bike too. And then we've got some other special bikes soon to be talked about.
Soon to be announced.
Yeah. How are you feeling about that? Are you looking forward to throwing a leg over a Italian-made, family-owned bicycle?
Yeah, I had no idea I was getting 2 road bikes. That's sweet.
I know, but I just dropped a little surprise for you right there.
Yeah, breaking news. No, I'm pumped on it. Especially with how close you are to the company, and having it be a family company always makes you more excited to represent it and be an ambassador for sure. And the Italians know what they're doing when they're building bikes. And the more I've looked into these bikes, the more pumped I get, and also surprised that Basso isn't a bigger name here. The quality, the specs, the lightweight, like everything about this bike looks incredible. And I'm really excited to throw my leg over it soon.
Yeah, and that's what we keep telling everyone. It's just like we got our hands on these bikes and they're amazing. The bikes rival any other bike I've ever ridden. And again, I've ridden Pinarello, I've ridden a Dogma, I've ridden a Tarmac. Like, it's just so much better than both of those. I have no allegiance to either of those brands, so I can be honest. They're incredible bikes.
Okay, well, I think for us, that's what we wanted to do. We just want to check in with you. And, again, this is a big day. I know it's a short podcast for us, but we just want to introduce everyone to you because I know we'll be talking about you and what you're doing a lot into 2026. And as we start to introduce more sponsors, too.
Exactly.
One thing, one of our listeners asked me to ask you, was how big of a role in your decision to join us was the fact that you were introduced to your first ever Negroni via one of our members, Ryan, in Bentonville.
Oh, that was the turning point right there. That's could have just pulled out the paper. I would have supplied the pen. It would have been done right on the spot.
There you go.
Negotiations and Negronis. That needs to be like a new title for something.
Exactly. We need to figure out a partnership with Campari for that.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, this could be our content creation. We can do post-race debriefs with Negronis.
Exactly.
It's not a bad idea. I like that.
We actually do that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
That's already part of the program. All right, cool. Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it. And you've got a lot of stuff on the way. So look for some future mail deliveries.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
So I think there's a lot of excitement around everything that's going to happen next year from our side, from the athlete side. And I'm just personally really excited to see how this new model plays out. And when I say new model, the traditional model, we've talked about this a million times. Bike team, and even Cole touched on it, teams have a bunch of cyclists and they just reach out to these brands and say, give us hundreds of thousands, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product and money. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you probably won't get any return other than
your logo will in our jersey.
Your logo will be in our jersey. And if someone on our team wins something, maybe we'll sell some bikes.
Yeah.
And so, outside of the world tour, it is a hard sell. To a lot of brands. And so that's where we sat down and you and I talked about it for so long, like, how do we make this different? And with our expertise in the creative agency side, we've worked with multi-billion-dollar companies in that capacity. And that teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to really, manage relationships at that higher level. That's kind of the thing you don't see. Like in leadership, even in some of these really big teams, the leaders have only ever worked in teams. They've only ever been cyclists. And there's nothing wrong with that because that also brings a lot of experience. But our differentiator is that we're thinking of the brand as if they are an actual business because they are an actual business.
Yeah.
And we're trying to treat people and partners the way we want to be treated as a business. And that means trying our hardest to not just deliver a result from a cyclist, from a professional athlete, because that, to a certain extent, is only within so many people. It's really just within one person's control. But what is within our control is storytelling. And what is in our control is being very professional in the way we conduct business and make sure that we're providing value. And so I think that's, like, when I think about the program next year, it seems like a little bit like a science experiment, but one that we've done before in a different capacity with niche culture. And so I'm really excited to see if brands start to pick up on that. And we know Basso has. We know our partners at Cass, Coup, Core, all these brands that support us, they've seen the value, and they see the value in such a strong business partnership. And so I'm just really interested to see kind of where it goes from here.
That was beautifully articulated.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Yeah.
Want to add anything?
I don't know if I have much to add to that other than, it's, I think it's a completely different approach. And I think that's what you see even in the cycling news article that came out today. Jackie, the journalist, touched on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that got her attention when we had that discussion with her about how can we do things differently. There's a lot of people in the cycling bike racing world that talk about doing things differently, but they don't do anything different. And nothing has happened that's been different. So this is a completely different approach.
Well, there's a lot of like assumption that people are owed things.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you really start, because you see it in business too. Like as soon as you start assuming that you are owed business, or you are owed sales, or you are owed a retainer with a client, and that's the most dangerous thing that you could possibly think. And I see it especially a lot of domestic teams here in the United States, and I'm sure it happens domestically in other countries too, but I'm more tuned in here. They start to take sponsors for granted, and it's you see these like crazy demands, and it's kind of like, if I'm the sponsor, I'm thinking, well, like, you haven't had one person win anything this year. Like, where's this demand coming from? Like, what are you offering? It has to be a two-way street.
Yeah.
And so trying to just push a little bit harder, push a little bit further and think, how can I provide value? That's just, it sounds so simple, but I see that it gets lost on so many people with this mindset of, I have the right to money or to sponsorship, and candidly, you just don't. You've got to work for it.
Yep. Well, we're definitely gonna do a completely different approach, and it's gonna be really fun, and we're gonna do a lot of exciting storytelling. I think you can tell just from listening to Cole, him and Michael. I can't wait to see what they're able to put together, and yeah, I'm excited.
And if you want to be a part of it, if you really are looking for a way to support, we do have some membership slots left open for next year.
That's right.
Go on our website, look at the application. Again, it's a little bit of an investment, but you get a lot for your money. So you're getting a foundation kit, which obviously the rest of the club has. You're getting a helmet. You're getting glasses. You're getting all the things that you need to look like Cole and Michael, to look like the rest of the team. And it's a way, we've gotten feedback saying, well, why do people have to buy the kit, or why do people have to buy the helmet to be in the club? And it's really because when we go to team camp, when we travel together, like, there's something about the way you show up and the way you match with your, kits and your accessories at a bike race. Same thing with running. There's a reason teams exist. Football players don't get to show up in their own clothes.
Yeah.
It's because there's camaraderie in that.
Yep.
There's also value in that for sponsors. And so
that's what I was going to say. It's also supporting our partners.
It's supporting the partners. It's supporting the team. And it's supporting Michael and Cole.
Yep.
Because they wear Cask, so we want to support Cask. They wear Coup, so we want to support Coup. They wear Core, so we want to support Core. And so if it's such an amazing program. And again, think of it as a little bit of like a crowdfunding type approach as well.
Yeah.
Feel free to reach out to us if you have questions about the club. If you're interested, don't hesitate. But we want to put that out there one more time before we close down the membership applications for 2026. So go check it out.
All right. Well, with that, thanks for listening, right?
Yeah, this has been great.
It's been a great episode and a little bit short one, but make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Yep.
Tell your friends about it because it helps us out a lot. And then next week we will have another guest?
Yeah, we have a guest next week, and they will be in the nutrition space. Exciting new brand. That's doing something, pretty different, pretty innovative. So we're excited to talk to them.
All right. Until then.
All right. Bye.